Minecraft is a truly great game. It's become the most sold game of all time, even if in 2009 the gameplay looked like this. Yup, if you were to look at this without knowing what Minecraft is, you would be confused as to why this somehow managed to make hundreds of millions of sales all around the world. However, recently a lot of people are saying it's dying, that it has just started its downfall. So that's what we're gonna be doing today. We're gonna be looking back at Minecraft and talking about its casual scene, competitive scene, content creation or content creators, and the game itself, to see if the game is truly dying and if it's still as good as its old glory days. So buckle up, because I'm gonna be covering all these topics one by one. Oh, and before I start this video, I quickly want to tell you to like and subscribe, since a lot of hours get poured into these videos, from script writing to footage gathering to editing the video itself. And look at these statistics. Only 3% of people are subscribed. Come on guys, let's raise this number, alright? And also, follow my Twitter. I'll be posting a bunch of sneak peeks and updates about the next videos I will be working on. So if you want to know what topic the next video is about, follow my Twitter. Okay, enjoy. The game itself. Minecraft is an open-world sandbox survival game that consists of blocky and pixelated terrain. Everything is quite simple, there aren't complicated shapes, mostly just cubes. Each world is procedurally generated, and your goal is to get to the end dimension to beat the Ender Dragon, the final boss of the game. It's quite simple on paper, but there are limitless opportunities for just about everything. The movement is really simple yet really fun, resource gathering almost never feels like a chore, and overall it truly nails not being boring ever. Especially with friends, except sometimes it gets a little intense. But still, a lot of people play this game to play with friends, because everybody knows that anything's better with friends. And with its most recent update, the Wild update, the game is still striving, being the #1 best-selling game of all time. Everybody knows Minecraft. It's so recognizable, even your parents probably know about Minecraft. I even played Minecraft with my grandmother at one point. I mean, she didn't really do anything, she would just stand there menacingly while analyzing the PS4 controller. Even your grandparents probably know about Minecraft. It is so well known all around the media, and it has grown to be one of the most important video games of all time. But it wouldn't be fair if I didn't also talk about the downsides of this game. The thing is, there are not many. The only ones that I can think of is the lack of any sort of tutorial or guide for what you're supposed to be doing, making playing the game as a beginner really confusing, and also the community. I recommend you kind of stay away from a portion of this one thing. Oh, and also the recent banning crisis that's been going on around Minecraft Bedrock Edition. I'm a Java player myself, but after watching a few videos to understand the situation, it just kinda sucks that after so much time, the creators finally decided to add moderation, only for it to suck. Anyway, the situation is kinda bad, but I can't really be the one to talk since I've almost never played Bedrock Edition or made contact with anybody from that community. Alright, I know you also want me to talk about the Wild update, the newest content update as of the time this video got released, so I'll do a fast rundown. It's an update. Many have said it's a little underwhelming, that for a while whenever Mojang releases a new update, they focus too much on the new content and not enough on making other things revolving around it better, and that's kind of my opinion as well. I think the update was a bit too hyped up and wasn't really what I would consider to be enough for a big anticipated content update. The Deep Dark and the Mangrove Swamp are cool, but there could have been some things that could have been changed to make the experience more enjoyable. It's a bit of a punch in the face that the Warden has more health than the Ender Dragon and does not have a boss bar or something, especially combined with the fact that I've never found a goddamn mangrove swamp. Why the hell are they so rare? Look at this. You see this? Those are the mangrove swamps. Why? You see, there were also supposed to be fireflies and birch forest improvements, but somehow both of these things that definitely would have made the update better just didn't make the final cut. A lot was promised but little was given, but that's his whole story I'm not willing to talk about since other videos cover it in greater detail. Well, you can't win them all, and I think these are some of the reasons some people say it's dying. And looking back at it now, I understand why many people say that. It's not like it's an indie game that is being worked on by 2 people, well, not anymore, and they certainly are able to pull off greater things. It's just they're unintentionally decent at not keeping promises. Alright, I think that's enough. The criticism isn't aimed towards anybody working at Mojang, keep that in mind. The game is still awesome, it's not like they completely gave up on it. That's my 2 cents on the matter, but it could be better. Anyway, moving on. The casual scene. The casual scene mostly refers to the people who like playing Minecraft not for the movement or combat, but to build and test out its limitations in a variety of ways. One of the best examples of this is the Minecraft subreddit. One quick glance at the hot section and your jaw will probably drop to the underworld, or the nether. Personally, I admire the casual scene of Minecraft, since I can't build for shit. I'll be proud of myself if I manage to finish a mediocre wooden house on my own. Otherwise, if I want to build something nice, I'll probably look up a tutorial on YouTube and just follow that. So I love people who just have a natural talent at building amazing stuff in this block game. I mean, personally, I've never really tried to just sit down and build something, since I like playing the game in a more fast-paced manner. Now, when I talk about this, you probably think of those Mindplex speed builder sweats that finished a build in less than 3 seconds, but no. That's a different case. I'm just not fit for building in any way, shape, or form, was what I said when I started writing this script, but in the meantime, to get script ideas and footage for the game, I've started to learn to actually build nice things inside of Minecraft, so that's awesome. I wanted to show you this one house I made on a server with my friends, but I think you can guess what happened. But it isn't just the Minecraft builders that are part of the casual end of the spectrum, there are also the people who make custom mods. Yeah, you guys are kind of weird. Redstone contraptions or farms and other stuff in general. Initially, talking about the modding scene would have been its own separate thing, but I think I can just go ahead and cover it here. The modding scene is so huge that the guy who created the Aether mod, the one that made the funny water glowstone portal meme, got hired to work at Mojang. Besides that, mods who add a lot of content to the game to just make it better or harder are the reason some people even play Minecraft. Take a mod like RL Craft, for example. It's a classic. It's a huge combination of hundreds of mods all bundled together to make one scary challenge, and it's scary. Oh my god! Oh my god, that scared the fuck out of me. Personally, this is one of the greatest and worst mods I've ever played, and it goes to show that people put a lot of effort into these things. Like, also, just quality of life things in general and things like that. Mods have always been really awesome in any game. Now, moving on. God, the people who actually know how to use redstone properly are just not human. Redstone can be such a simple concept, and people have always pushed it to its absolute limits for years by making some of the most godly things, like a calculator, in Minecraft. Yeah, I don't know why you would make this when the computer you use to play Minecraft quite literally has its own calculator. And now, with the new sculk that is basically sound responsive redstone, I just can't wait to see what stupidities people will create. There are indeed some actually pretty useful things that can be made, like farms or possibly even flying machines depending on the context, but when are you gonna find the resources to... Okay, what the hell is that? Alright. So the casual players are the ones who are the most creative and make the most of what they're given. I feel like the reason the game got popular is because it's a sandbox that knows no limits. And that isn't an exaggeration. Have you seen how dedicated this community is? From difficult redstone contraptions to making crazy additions and changes, all the way to playing Minecraft inside of Minecraft. Yeah, this is insane. This game truly shows that the limit for creativity keeps on rising, and that the community is right there, keeping up. Seriously, there's so much work put into so many crazy things just for a stupid block game. Alongside that, the casual players are the people who take the game at their own pace, like big Let's Players. They take the time to prepare for everything since it's the solution for all things. Oh, you prepare yourself with full enchanted diamond armor and equip yourself with a diamond sword combined with an enchanted bow just to beat the Ender Dragon? Well, this random guy named Illumina f***ing destroyed the Ender Dragon with a gold helmet, leather chestplate, fight and a few bets. Bet you feel bad now. Anyway, I'll talk about more of that in the competitive scene section of the video. So now that I look back at the casual scene of Minecraft, I just can't help but smile. Insanely creative stuff just put a stupid grin on my face. I love work that has so much effort poured into it. The casual scene is one of the cornerstones that brought Minecraft to what it is today. But I would be lying if I didn't say that after a certain green man's appearance, the more competitive side of Minecraft like combat and speedruns has recently been the more popular side. Oh wait, what a transition! The competitive scene. I have a lot to talk about here. Let's start by talking about Minecraft's movement. It's extremely simple. You got WASD, you can jump, sprint, and crouch, and that's it. Jumping while sprinting, also known as sprint jumping, is faster than just sprinting. Your jumps are just a little over a block high, and a sprint jump can get you to jump around 4 blocks horizontally, although some have speculated that it's 5. Minecraft's movement is really satisfying. I have no idea how, but they truly hit the nail on the head when it comes to doing stuff like parkour in this game. It feels nice to just jump from tree to tree, block to block, or just manage to run up a hill really fast just by using the movement the game gives you to your advantage. And crafting is also a thing that's actually a bit harder than it seems to perfect. From learning the crafting recipe so you don't need to look in that random book, all the way to being able to actually place the items needed from your recipe as fast as possible. But why am I talking about all of this? This isn't talking about the game itself, it's the competitive scene. Well, these are just a few of the things you need to master to be good at Minecraft speedrunning, and you know that speedrunning is a competitive niche in any video game. Anyway, let's talk about speedrunning. Speedrunning is pretty fun in Minecraft, except for constantly loading up a new world and realizing there isn't a village near spawn and repeating that process 300 times in a row. But it's still really awesome since you have to make the most of what you're given, because the map is procedurally generated. This already makes it stand out from a lot of other video game speedruns where the story and the levels are set and all you have to do is just do it fast. In short, you really need to know what you're doing and how to deal with certain situations. For example, you need to know which buildings you need to prioritize in villages to get the most out of the village in the least time. Another example is that in the Nether there are some structures named bastions, and there are 4 different types of bastions. The thing is, each bastion has its own routes, so you need to know what type of bastion it is, on what side or part of the bastion you are, and how to act accordingly. It's pretty insane. I still haven't quite gone down the way bastions work, but it's really goddamn cool, and the whole things are just... Okay, you know what's pretty competitive? Combat. Minecraft's combat is really interesting. There are 2 renditions of it, version 1.8 combat, which is spam click oriented, and 1.9 plus combat, which is based on patience. 1.8 combat relies a lot on making sure your enemy doesn't hit you, because if they start hitting you, then you can be caught in this godlike combo and get destroyed. But it's alright, because the newer combat style doesn't really allow that to happen. Okay, never mind. Not many combat elements are different from each other in these 2 versions, surprisingly enough. Everything has remained the same, and all that's different is the way you fight. Honestly, both combat systems are really cool. 1.8 is pretty self-explanatory. I mean, you just need to spam click and strafe. Okay, I'm gonna call it 1.19 combat from now on, since 1.9 plus is just annoying to pronounce. In 1.19 combat, when you pull out a weapon, a sword below the crossbar appears called the attack indicator, and that charges up. When it's fully charged, that's when you deal the most damage with that item. This recharging thing happens every time you hit, meaning you don't just have it fully charged all the time after pulling it out. Different weapons have different charging speeds, with the axe being the weapon to charge the slowest. And if you have your weapon charged, you can do a thing called a critical hit or crit. This crit only happens if you hit an enemy with the weapon fully charged and whilst falling, meaning that most of the time you're gonna be hitting crits while jumping, since falling from somewhere and hitting a player or a mob is a bit more improbable. You can tell that there's a lot of thought behind the way this works, and there's also a lot of videos that are better at explaining this, and this isn't the main focus of the video anyways. The competitive scene of Minecraft is one that I'm truly fond of, being a pretty competitive player of any game myself. Speedrunning has its ups and downs and has had a bit of drama, but that's to be expected since it's also happened to other games. Combat is something really interesting but also really hard, and the whole scene has been striving due to the increasing popularity of Minecraft Manhunts and some high pixel mini games. Overall, I'd say it's a pretty big big reason it's been keeping the game alive, whether you like it or not. The content creators. Minecraft content creation has always been something to look up and forward to because, let's all be honest, you probably grew up watching big names like DanTDM, Popular MMOs, Captain Sparkles, Yogscast, the list just goes on. To be frank, all you needed back then was just gameplay, pure gaming. Nowadays, you look at so many big channels or just new channels in general, and they always have to have something out of the ordinary for it to even get noticed by the algorithm. Take Dream, for example. Whether you love him or hate him, you have to admit that he has basically revolutionized what Minecraft content means nowadays with his wacky ideas and challenges. But people are kinda dumb. So when they saw the extreme success Dream started to have, they kinda tried to hop on the bandwagon and take a bit of fame for themselves. And that's why a huge part of Minecraft content is really goddamn dried out. Minecraft butt was a really interesting idea until it just got milked to its absolute limits. Yeah, looking back at it now, I have to say that I kinda miss the old days of Minecraft content. Nowadays, there are people who make good Minecraft content, but it's just not the same. Oh, I forgot to mention that Minecraft content can be a poison for children. I'm not even joking when I say that. The amount of garbage that is produced regarding Minecraft is insane, and kids eat up just about anything, including said garbage. The thumbnails can sometimes be the worst offenders. Like, why? Why? Most of the time, it's just noob versus pro versus hacker versus god. But it's really simple, and it manages to exploit children, mainly by telling them that if they like and subscribe, they get a cool-ass gaming PC and some bucks or something. And also because of popular and recognizable media that's used to exploit them even more. It's really stupid, and you can't really do anything about it, like to stop the creators or stop the youngins from watching it. There will always be stuff like this when it comes to a trending topic. The good side of Minecraft content has been a little stale recently, but you can tell that people are trying their best to break the mold. So, in conclusion, Minecraft is awesome. It isn't dying, you're stupid. That's right, I made him all by myself.